stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Friends and family, these are definitely times of putting faith with action, testing all things, testing our resilience. But the main thing I want to talk about is remaining vigilant and alert. Be guided by the wisdom of God in these times. And I look at Ezekiel 33 verse 6, and I look at the watchman. If he sees the sword coming, he doesn't blow the trumpet, he doesn't warn the people. And I'm talking about your countries. You look at Israel and you see how we're standing in the gap here. But you got to be a watchman, or else you're going to be held accountable for that. We have a responsibility to be vigilant. Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the streams, the springs of life. So, sorry about those booms, but you know what I mean? We have to reinforce our resolve. We have to be able to stand in the gap. I think of people who live through hard times, like the one I'm living through in my family right now, Winston Churchill. He says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Right now, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's military general, is threatening a harsh, decisive response against Israel if we have to go and defend ourselves from the incessant hailstorm of rockets from Hezbollah terror group. We've had to evacuate all our people from the north part of Israel, the Lebanon border. And he says if we respond and launch, they will do a giant direct strike on Israeli soil if we go and defend ourselves. And he quoted, should the Zionist regime launch an attack on Lebanon and initiate a broad conflict with Hezbollah, the axis of resistance, he's saying it's going to come from all over. That's what Qumars Hidari said. And he's this big general, a lot of proxies, which they're already using in Yemen, in Iraq, and of course in Gaza, and all throughout, like the Hezbollah. Iran itself will be attacking us. And then you have the U.S. officials saying, don't count on us. And at the same time, we're in the midst of this battle, inner battle, about the ultra-Orthodox joining us. They shouldn't get off without having to serve as well. If I have to serve, they have to serve as well. And you have the high court rules and says ultra-Orthodox have to be conscripted, drafted to serve alongside me in the army. And a full panel just today said, look guys, you have to join. It's a blockbuster ruling because there was, since Ben-Gurion's time, our first prime minister, there was this deal that was kind of like, you guys don't have to. If you don't really want to, we'll still give you money. Just be part of Israel. We'll let you have free money for your educational yeshivas where you study Mishnah. But it's like they said, the Supreme Court said it's time. Now, this is really a government ruling, supposed to be. But it's just for months and months and months, we didn't want a crisis. And there could be a crisis. There could be a big fight. And they say, let's tear apart the government. But the High Court's decision, they said it applies right away. By August 8th, that's it. They have to be here in the army serving with me, the Haridim, the ultra-Orthodox. And so it's just going to be amazing to see these kind of people with black hats and joining and not feeling like they don't have to, or some citizens have a exemption. Able-bodied citizens, even women here, have to all serve. There's no reason. And that would be about 60,000 eligible draftees this year alone that would come, and more next year. And it could just be really, really amazing how they'll interact. And of course, they would be so honored to serve, I believe. I hope so. I hope that it won't turn into a huge, huge fight. But I just want to bring this and say, in these times, we just got to quote scripture, because that is God's plan over Israel. Israel is God's country from the Bible. King David, the prime minister back in the day, the executive of the government, the minister of defense in Psalms 92, he says, "For behold, your enemies, O Lord, your enemies will perish, but he will have the victory." So just trust.